topic of the day
is married single mothers.
What is proteins? So before you go into it and give me your answer, I'm gonna give it to you. Before you do that, what I want to say, okay, what I think protein is, as a natural Western philosophy thinker, I think proteins are something that comes from eating meat, like a cow, maybe a steak, or maybe a chicken.
A steak is a cow.
Yeah, maybe a steak. It comes from actually a cow, but a chicken, like a chicken leg, or drum leg, or breast. Maybe some kind of pork or something. Maybe even some green leafy. Nah, most of these stuff just meat. You know, maybe some lamb or something. I get some protein from some of those meat or some egg.
Chicken.
Pretty much.
And that's what we was taught. Protein is meat.
So in that case, what do you, as a health coach doing the research, as you said, been doing it for 14 years, what do you think? Or what do your research says?
So protein is actually called Welcome to Husky Podcast. I'm Maria.
And I am Ethan.
It's been a long time.
It has been a minute, but we have come back to you with some interesting topics. What you think?
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Interesting topics.
Thanks to TikTok and Facebook.
Facebook and TikTok it is. TikTok be having us on pretty much interested in a lot of different stuff that's going on in the world, and I'm thankful for it, but I do not have it, to be honest. Somebody over here be sharing me a lot of TikToks, but
a lot of it is educational.
Cap. But
A
yeah.
lot of it is.
Yeah, what she said. So the main topic of the day
is married single mothers. This one I found pretty interesting.
How is that possible? But go ahead.
So I was on TikTok and I seen the video. I was like, sometimes you can relate to certain things, certain situations. Then I seen it again on Facebook. I was reading the comments and seeing what people. You're just saying that because you're being biased because you're a male.
I'm listening to what you're saying.
But this could go either way. Married single mothers or fathers.
What? Yeah, whatever. What you said.
So basically, what they're trying to say, or what I took from it, was basically the woman work so many plus hours, come home, take care of the kids, go to the grocery store, cook, clean, and all the male does, or the spouse does, is come home, or go to work, come home, eat, sleep, take a bath, poop, and that's it. That's what I got from it. So therefore, that's why a lot of mothers are feeling like they're living a single life, but they're married.
Yeah, but okay.
And I know what you're going to say, because we already had this conversation.
No, you can't say that we had this conversation. You need to say what you want to say. Go and feed into
But
your
I
argument.
can see...
Give it to what you said.
I can see how they feel, because the mother is the one who does a lot of the things around the house and for the kids. And for our kids, they come to me for everything. So therefore, I can see where it can feel like that.
Yeah, right. Well, before we get into that, my answer, I'm going to tell you, hey, look, this episode is brought to you by greenhuskyhemp.com. Greenhuskyhemp.com. What can you get at greenhuskyhemp.com?
Well, you can get elderberry, all natural bath soap.
Yeah.
You can get
Tea.
freshly brewed teas.
Fresh brewed teas.
Herbal teas.
Teas on the go. Yeah.
Some medicinal teas.
Yeah.
You can get all sorts of healthy things from there. Herbs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can definitely get in tune with your natural minerals that you need for your body and stuff like that. But pretty much visit greenhuskyhemp.com and then you'll be able to get access to all of those good things as far as nutrients that's going to feed your body on a cellular level.
Yes.
Back to the question at hand. Married single mothers. Now,
hey guys, please comment below and give us your feedback, your opinion. There's no right or wrong answer. You can agree to disagree, and that's fine.
Fellas, I got
totally
you.
Fine.
Fellas, I got you. I just want to let you know, I got you, fellas. Let's break it down. Married, singled mothers. So, first of all, we got two things that don't even really go together. You can't be married and singled. There's one or two you can't be. You can be one. You can't be two. Now, I get what you're saying. You're saying that, hey, look, you do single activities, but you're married. Well, that tells me that obviously you have a lack in some area.
There's no balance.
Yeah, the lack in that area is, obviously you feel like you're doing more of the dishes, maybe more of the cleaning, more of the taking care of the kids, more of the daily household things that's necessary that need to be done. I get that. And therefore, sometimes the women are definitely leaned on those positions as far as things they have to do. Without a doubt. I get you. But in the instance that y'all both work, that would definitely ring true. But let's just say that you didn't work. Let's just say that that your duties was stay-at-home mom.
You can't.
That doesn't say that your duties was a stay-at-home mom.
But that's still work too.
Even though it's work.
And stay-at-home moms, like I said before, do not get the credit that they should get because work is work. I don't care if you punching somebody's clock or what. Work is still work.
Well, it depends on the...
You might not be getting paid for it.
It depends on the amount of labor that's being put forth.
No, labor is labor. I don't care what you do.
Well, you pick up a shoestring is different than picking up a brick. Let's just keep it.
It's still work. Work is work.
Let's keep it 100. It takes more energy to pick up a brick than it would to pick up a shoestring.
Physical energy, yes, but mental energy, it could still outweigh the same.
Well, if your physical energy takes more, it's gonna take more energy.
Work is work. I don't care if it's physical work or mental work.
Because,
for instance, therapists, that's more of a mental work. You can be mentally tired, mentally destroyed by listening to someone else's problem. That's why I say, if you have a therapist, if you're a therapist, the therapist needs a therapist too.
Well, it depends on how well that therapist is at their job.
No, they still need to see a therapist, just like a doctor needs to see another doctor.
Well, obviously, if you have something that you need you have an acute situation, well, yeah, you're gonna need a doctor to actually do the surgery for you. You can't go in surgery and do your, amputation and stuff like that, whatever needs to be done, or some kind of surgery to repair something. You can't do that efficiently, and maybe some people can. But majority of people, I would think, can't. You know what I'm saying? Majority of people will not be able to do efficient repair on themselves as the solo the solo doctor on their issue. But that's not the point. The point was, so how can you be single and married at the same time? That's what the real point was. The real point was being single and married at the same time.
I don't think it's more so of the status.
Well, what is it about?
I think it's more so like the principle of it all. Like the...
I think that's a confusion that you run into with saying that. Oh, now pause. Now, a lot of people are gonna have a lot of comments in that situation, thinking, "Hey, look, yeah, not confusing. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, blah 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 blah." No, listen to this before you go into all of that. If you're married, you are signed into an agreement upon a balance of each other. I put forward 400 to you. You put forth 100 to me, and we perform a whole. Now, with that being said, it is hard to really be able to help you if I'm not putting all I can in your situation. So therefore, yes, some of the guys does fit a certain amount of accountability there. Yes, if you just coming home and you just working and you just playing a video game, you ain't taking no part in the kid's life and everything else, yes, you have a part to blame in that situation. On the other hand, if you coming home and you cooking, you cleaning, and your woman is still considering yourself as single but yet married, you might have more of a problem than what you really have. So,
wait, say it one more time.
If you coming home and you cooking and cleaning,
Who's the male?
all that
or
stuff,
the female?
The guy.
Okay.
Is cooking and cleaning and doing all this stuff just as much as the woman is doing, and she still consider herself married but single mother.
Then at that point, we won't be having this conversation.
Oh, you having the conversation, but the conversation gonna lead to a different direction. True with that.
But hold on. It can go to a different conversation because this can get really deep. Okay, so they cooking, cleaning, taking care of the kids, but if a mother or a father is still calling themselves married and single or whatever, and married, single mother or father, whatever you want to call it, and let's say both parties are doing the cooking and cleaning and blah 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 blah, but they're still feeling single. At that point, then it excludes all of that. Now it's a me and you thing. It's a problem
like
within.
A whole different issue than what we're talking about. Let's
No, that's what you just said.
Yeah, I said that, but that sounds like a whole different issue. Now
That's
you're
what I'm
talking about what
saying.
your feeling is, and I guess your feeling does not exempt you from being who you are. Who you are is on paper, I'm married. Straight up and down.
Yeah,
That has nothing, your marital status has nothing to do with your feelings. So today, I might be married, right? But I feel like I'm single. So guess what? I can go out and do single things, right? That makes better sense?
No. You can't go out doing single things if
Why?
you're married.
I said I'm married but single father.
That's what
I'm married but single father. I go out and do single things. That's the same thing, right? Is that not? Okay.
That's the way, if that's where the way.
Okay then. So what you think is that, like, yes, there's a possibility that people might think this way, but I do not feel that it's right. What I'm saying is that if you're single, then you're single. Your marital status has nothing to do with your actual household duties. Now let's get this right. A woman does have a lot to handle when it comes to as far as working and taking care of the household. It is a hard thing to balance, without a doubt.
And I don't think that's right.
True, but and with what's given, heavy as the crown that the head wears, right? Meaning that if you wear the crown of the queen, you're going to have some difficulties. But at the same time, the man wears a heavy crown too. So you have to understand that even though you deal with these things, the man also deal with these things. And y'all both come together to balance each other out. That's the moral of the story.
Yeah, that's why it has to be balanced. I don't think there should be one specific gender. Oh, for instance, the woman. Cleaning, cooking, all that. I don't think that should just be on the female. It needs to be both.
True.
Because sometimes we ain't going to cook. So that's when whoever else is in the household step in and say, oh, I got you.
True. Very, very
Or
true.
cleaning. Or everybody take a part in everything in the house. Everybody live in the house. It shouldn't be one side. Like, I cut the grass the other day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. But
I did too cut the
now
grass.
you do one podcast. You didn't do the podcast for years. And she cut the grass one time. Oh, yeah, I want to talk about I cut the grass. Stop.
No, I used to cut the grass
Stop.
a lot
You used
at
to
the
cut
other
it.
house.
It's a big cat.
At the other house
It's all
until
cat.
I got attacked.
Other house, another house, whatever. One time, two times. I counted two fingers. How many times she cut the grass? Ever.
No.
Ever. So let's stop the nonsense. I make it seem like, oh yeah, I cut the grass.
But
every
anyways.
stop. It's cat. It is very much cat. But there's nothing here nor there.
Where are my kids at?
Yeah, right. So
Okay, but it should be a balance. It shouldn't be one specific job for one specific person. Now I can see if you don't know how to change oil in your car and blah 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 blah.
Whoa. You said you was married but doing single mother stuff.
No,
I need you to go
that's
and
what
get
I'm
that.
saying.
I need to get that oil change. Go ahead and hop to it.
Oh, we can go drive and go to fire zone down the street.
Oh, now
It
you
ain't
need
nothing.
somebody else to do it. That sounds like you're dependent on somebody. Where's that INDEND? I need to hear all that. I need to hear all of that. I need to hear all of
Well, I know how to change oil.
You're okay. But let's.
I know how to change oil. I know how to change spark plugs. I don't know how to do brakes.
Oh Lord, let's stop nonsense. But see, let's pick the real stuff. The real thing is that yes, you need a balance between your single. If you feel like you're single, it's obviously because there's
One, a lack of communication.
communication definitely is a big part of relationships, for sure. Big part of relationships. We talked about this before with friendships and stuff like that. Matter of fact, let's dive into that. Friendships. One of the main reasons why you have friendships is because you have a consistent base of communication with them.
Bond.
And a bond, and that turns into a brotherhood, and that
Sisterhood.
or sisterhood, and or familyhood, or whatever you want to call it, hood. But the thing is, you build this relationship based off of that consistent communication and talking to each other, learn how each other feel about things, and not being accepting about how people feel. You can be accepting about how people feel and disagree with them wholeheartedly. Like, hey, look, you might believe.
But there's a way to disagree with someone and don't be nasty about it.
That's where
a lot of friendships.
A lot of people have an issue.
Yes.
Because
and I have a big issue with that. We can disagree to agree all day long, but when you're nasty behind it.
What you mean is that you're in the point to where you rather do stuff and you don't want to cause a major issue, but the person wants to cause a major issue because they disagree with you. Like, it's not a major issue just because I don't agree with you that your shirt is white. No, your shirt is Blanco.
No, that's white.
You're smart. You're very smart.
Like, hold on.
Yeah, exactly. You get what I'm saying? But what the point is that there are some differences in terminology and stuff like that. But the major thing with friendship is that consistent communication. Without consistent communication, you become envious or jealous of that person because you haven't talked to that person in a long time. So it's like, man, bump that person over there. Bump this person over here. Man, I'm buying with myself. I'm a friend of myself first. I'm doing me for me first before anybody else. But really.
And that can be okay. That's fine. You have to take care of yourself first.
True. But at the same time, when you don't look at like, hey, look, even though these friends, when you don't look at it like this, because most of my friends are like this, right? The one really down with me and know what up, salute. They're like this. Hey, look, I'm the type of friend that look at this. If we had a strong bond between a certain time period, man, let's say a week, month, 2, couple years, whatever it might have been, when I see you again, we still had a strong bond. Mm-hmm. It's not that as if I've never hung with you throughout this period that we lose this bond. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of people think like, oh man, I ain't talking this person with 5, 6 years. Man, I don't know this guy no more or whatever. Well, really how I play it in my mind is that, oh man, he's still the same guy from when I knew this guy from this. Let's go hang out. Let's go, whatever. And we all can still be cool. But some people might not think it that way. Some people might think of it like, oh yeah, this person was real cool then, but right now I don't know what he's on. You know what I'm saying?
And truthfully honest, you don't know what that person is on.
And that goes right into assuming.
Yes.
When you don't know what somebody on, you assume.
Yes. So
with that being said, assuming will cause you to be in a bad predicament.
Assuming someone is mad at you. Assuming that somebody got a problem with you. Any type of assumption. And then, when you ask the person and they give you the answer, just take it for what it is and keep it trucking.
Yeah.
But keep assuming stuff. I'm going to let you assume what your thinking is. After I done told you.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely have some issues with assuming, meaning that, hey, look, I thought that it was this, you thought it was that, and this is what it is, but at the end of the day, assuming makes an ass out of you and me.
To a point on me.
It makes an ass out of you and me.
Mm-hmm. I didn't tell you to assume that.
But if you made me assume, because you didn't make it clear, that makes an ass out of you.
No, if I told you, no, I ain't mad at you, I'm good.
Cap.
And you still continue to assume that.
That makes an ass out of you.
No, that makes it out of you. Because I told you what it is.
Yeah, like I said, it make an ass out of you.
How it make one out of me? Because I the one told you. You thought that I was mad at you. And I told you, no, I'm
because
good,
in the back of my mind, I think you're an asshole.
Well, that's your problem.
Because I was assuming. Because instead of you telling me what it was.
Then you the ass.
Well, that's why we assholes.
No, you the ass for yourself.
No, you would ask with me. Because now I'm asking because you asking. Because we was asking.
Shut up. You an ass for saying that.
Oh man, speaking of asses and stuff like that in the nutrition world and stuff like that, we're going to flip the page to proteins.
What is protein?
Proteins is a lot of people believe proteins comes from meat.
Yes.
And the reality of the thing is this. Like, let me lead on to this, and I'm going to hand it off to you because you're a health coach. And you went through a lot of health. You worked with 5 different doctor's offices. I've
been in the medical field for 14 years.
Exactly. You've been in medical field for 14 years.
Being a health coach is just a bonus. A nutritionist is just a bonus.
Yeah, that was a cap. But that's not cap. I'm lying.
It is a bonus.
That was definitely a bonus because you learned the information. But not only that, you continued your research and your education on this stuff. Based off of what?
And my own trial and errors, my own experiments on my own self.
Not only that, but some of the other people who have laid down different information, different types of answers to other people's problems. Yeah. And the reality of it is there's a strong community of people that's trying to heal. And obviously, with New Beginning Health Coach, we're one of those. Yeah. But what is proteins? So before you go into it and give me your answer, I'm gonna give it to you. Before you do that, what I want to say, okay, what I think protein is, as a natural Western philosophy thinker, I think proteins are something that comes from eating meat, like a cow, maybe a steak, or maybe a chicken.
A steak is a cow.
Yeah, maybe a steak. It comes from actually a cow, but a chicken, like a chicken leg, or a drum leg, or breast. Maybe some kind of pork or something. Maybe even some green leafy. Nah, most of these stuff just meat. You know, maybe some lamb or something. I get some protein from some of those meat or some egg.
Chicken.
Pretty much.
And that's what we was taught. Protein is meat.
So in that case, what do you, as a health coach doing the research, as you said, been doing it for 14 years, what do you think? Or what do your research says?
So protein is actually called amino acids. And there's 20 different types of amino acid combined that can make different types of amino acids. Amino acids is found in vegetables. So, you can look it up if you don't believe me. You can look it up. You can go to Google, you can go to Wikipedia, you can go whatever. So, when they say, oh, you can eat meat to get your protein. So when they say that, they don't tell you that the meat that you're eating get their proteins from vegetables, and they eat other animals that eat the vegetables. So you do not have to necessarily eat meat to have protein. You can eat vegetables to get your protein. You can look it up. If you don't believe me, you can look it up. So, I'm going to say this again. Protein is amino acids, and there's 20 different types of amino acids that combines to make the protein, and it comes from plants. Let's look at a cow, for instance.
Hold on, Paul. You said it comes from a plant, so that you trying to tell me is that I ate a cow?
You're actually eating processed protein.
No. See, I don't really, I have a hard time believing this, but even though maybe it makes some sense, but how did that make sense to me?
Okay, look at what a cow eats. What do a cow eat?
It eats hay.
Grass. Hay. Grass. Plant. Cows don't eat another animal. Have you ever seen a cow eat another animal?
Maybe.
I've never seen one.
Maybe.
And I've been on farms.
Mm-hmm. That's kind of...
Okay, chicken. What they eat?
Chicken feed.
Grain. I think they do eat some worms. But then, what do the worms eat?
Everything.
Okay, let's look at the largest animal on land is a... You know what the largest animal on land is?
A giraffe? A giraffe?
That's like the tallest animal.
It's a large animal.
An elephant.
You know about an elephant?
Elephant. What they eat? And you better not say peanuts.
I'll see that. But even though...
Okay, let's go down a little bit. What do a gorilla eat?
People.
Seriously.
I'm just saying.
Gorillas eat fruits. They eat vegetables. Do I need an example of another animal?
Yeah. But, so, I get all that. But this stuff...
So you don't have to have protein. I mean, you don't have to consume meat to get your protein.
Right. So, if you have more questions about any of this stuff, where could they come find you and talk to you about it? Not necessarily just to say that, there's a possibility that they need to get more information. Where could they get information at?
So, if you are in the DFW area, you can come to Naturally Rooted. That is where I am located. And we will have the address somewhere around here. But Naturally Rooted is in Mansfield, Texas. It's off of 287 in Walnut Creek in the same shopping center as Tom Thumbs. Mm-hmm. We can do consultations, and I always say everything that I mention to people, even in sessions, go research for yourself. Go read for yourself. Because just because I'm telling you something, just don't believe everything I say. Go research for yourself. That's the best thing to do is research for yourself. So protein was the nutritional talk for the day.
Yeah, I think we got a lot of information, but if you got more questions about that, leave it in the comment box and we can definitely reach out to you. As far as what you think about proteins and stuff like that, I mean, we believe it is amino acid. Obviously, we know that by research and stuff like that, and a lot of different doctors will actually help you with gaining that knowledge of what actual protein is and how does it help and affect your body. Always listen to your primary physician. But our last and final topic of the day is probably a shout out, more or less than actually a topic. But I want to shout out to Fila. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people from our Tulsa area knows about Fila and Fire in Little Africa. I want to say that they are really buzzing right now in this world. And if you haven't heard about them by now, you probably should. Not only that, there's a lot more Tulsa artists that's really out there doing their thing. Really doing out there doing their thing, and they're doing it real big. Not just as much, if not more than just as much as Feel like that. So I want to just say salute to you guys out there doing y'all thing, and it's always love when we come out to the town and support you guys from the North Tulsa area. But with that being said, that pretty much ends our whole little shebang for today. We had a little good argument about married being single. We pooped on that. We talked about, obviously friendships, assuming, proteins, and our last one is fever.
I really want to hear y'all feedback on this married, single, mother, father.
And just give you a little bonus. P.S. Real life. There are a lot of different situations for being single. There is.
Yeah.
But the main thing is, if you are married, then you cannot switch your marital status to being single.
Unless you're divorced.
Yes, and because you do more stuff in that marriage. Now, y'all need to find some kind of balance to where this works. That's on y'all. Because that's your marriage. And I'm not the person to go into your marriage and think about that. And to actually not think about that, to handle that. You need to go in there and figure that out. The man step up and be willing to listen to you, and the woman have to be willing to listen to the man. You have to balance each other out. That's the major key. Now, there's no nighttime without darkness. There's no darkness without light. With that being said,
Really? You gonna edit that, right?
no. Cap.
See this cap.